Hello everybody, my name is Tebello Rangwanana. I'm here with my colleagues and we are going to present you about the human physiology, and in consideration we are going to deal with blood pressure, heart rate and exercise. So my colleagues will give short descriptions of themselves. Thank you.
I'm Paul Scapolo. Good morning.
I'm Philemon Shaniwa, and later on I'll be with you about heart rate monitor.
Okay, like I have said, I am going to discuss more about the blood pressure sensor and how it works. First of all, I'll show you how this blood pressure sensor works, and on later stage I'll explain the parameters that are being showed by the blood pressure sensor. So here I have in front of me three things that I would like you to know before we proceed with our explanation. Here I have the blood pressure sensor, which has to be plugged in to the LabQuest 2. It will be plugged, and then here we have a cuff, which also is going to be plugged into the blood pressure sensor. So these are the things that we are going to use so far. So first of all, I would like to explain what you are going to look at. We are going to look at the blood pressure of a subject being somebody who is going to be taken, and then in that case our subject must be seated and should not move. Also, once we have started the LabQuest to collect data and measure and calculate some of the parameters, we shouldn't stop it until it finishes collecting the data. So here I'm going to show you how this is done. Our subject is coming nearer to us and we're going to deal with this in practice. This is the LabQuest before the insertion of the blood pressure sensor. This is the screen. So when we plug in at channel 1, we'll see a different screen because now the LabQuest will be sensing the blood pressure sensor. And then we are also going to plug in the cuff to the blood pressure sensor, and then we are going to measure from our subject. So this has to be fitted very tight. And then at the end of the day, we have to look here that this artery, this arrow that shows artery, is directly on the burial artery here, so that those parameters that we are looking for are going to be recorded. And then our subject is going to sit very steady without moving, and then we are going to pump the blood pressure using this, and then we have to make sure that we let the LabQuest to collect and we don't disturb, we don't stop it when it is collecting. And also we do not touch this during the collection, we do not tap anything, we do not stop anything. So now also we'll have to go to the LabQuest, which has an arrow that says you start collecting, and we are going to press on that button. It's here. So I have pressed on it. I'm going to start collecting and pumping. When I pump, I'm going to pump until I see 150 millimeters of mercury, then I'll stop pumping, but I won't release the pressure until the lab quest reaches 50 millimeters of mercury. So I'm starting to pump. There we go, our pressure is 150, so I let it while our lab quest is recording. This is what we see. And then at 50 I'm going to release the pressure, but I still leave the lab quest to do its work. So you can see from here the lab quest is going down, the reading is going down, but still the lab quest is working. I haven't stopped it. So now the lab quest have recorded everything, and here we have our results. So like I said, for our subject, we got his systolic as 103 and his diastolic as 53 and the map at 69. So now I would like to describe more of those parameters, what they mean. Like when we calculate blood pressure, there are two numbers that are written in a fractional form. The upper number represents the systolic blood pressure, and the lower number represents the diastolic. For a normal blood pressure, the systolic, which is the upper number, must be less than 120 millimeters of mercury, and the diastolic, which is the lower number, must be less than 80 millimeters of mercury. So what are these numbers? What do they mean? So let me describe the first one, which is systolic. So now systolic blood pressure measures the pressure in the arteries when the heart beats. That is when the heart muscles contracts. While the diastolic blood pressure measures the pressure in the arteries between heartbeats. That means when the heart muscles is resting between beats and refilling with blood. So now we have seen that we have another parameter which is called the map. That one can also be calculated by our own without the use of the lab quest too, because to calculate it we have a formula that says map, which is the mean arterial pressure, is equal to the systolic plus 2 times the diastolic. That means the diastolic number has to be doubled. So for our subject, his systolic blood pressure was 103. So now we add it to the double of his diastolic, which is 53, and then we divide it by 3. And then we get the answer as 69 millimeters of mercury. This is what the lab quest also gave us. So this is how we calculated the map. Also, we have seen that the lab quest gave us the heartbeat. For our subject, it was 70 beats per minute. So now I would like to describe what this pulse rate is. Then the pulse rate means the number of times a person's heartbeat per minute. Though it can be affected by so many things, such as the human size, the age, the mood, and so on. So we have seen that with our subject it was just 70, which is normal. So I think everybody is just clear with the use of the blood pressure sensor, how it works, and everybody is just clear with the parameters that are being taken or that are being measured and calculated from the LabQuest. From there, the data that has been collected from the LabQuest using the blood pressure sensor can be analyzed for further investigations, meaning we can transfer that data to the PC or the computer for that analysis. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my lesson number 1 for today, where I'm going to talk about a heart rate monitor, okay, which is used to measure our heart rate. It is used in the lab and manual physiology, biology manual as well. With me here I have a request here. These are the hand grips and a sensor here. So actually these are the 3 things that you need when you are measuring heart rate. Okay, before I start showing you how to do it, let me just explain some of the procedures that you have to take always into considerations in order to get the accurate data. Okay. First of all, as I mentioned, these are your hand grips. They have marks for the hand palms and for the fingers on it, or on them to say. So, and one grip has got an arrow, a white arrow. That's always your left hand. You should always hold this on your left hand side. Okay, then this is where you put your hand palm, and this is where you put your finger, exactly like this. Okay. This is a sensor which is picking up the signal for the heart rate. You have to insert it in the LabQuest. You have to insert this in the LabQuest. There are channels 1, 2, 3. You may select one, and then at the end of the sensor there is this with an arrow pointing up as well. These ones work together with this on the hand grips, meaning that when you are holding your hand grips like this, these ones should be also pointing up, so they must be parallel to each other. They must be pointing the same directions. They should both point upwards in order to get correct data. Sometimes it's difficult to keep it upright. You might use a sellotape just to put it nicely on the table so that it doesn't move when you are taking your measurements. Okay. The other thing is also that make sure your hands are clean when you are holding these grips. You may use ethanol spray and wipe off, but you don't have to put this completely in the liquid, since inside there are batteries. Also, you need to make sure that there are no other electronic devices around. It should at least 2 meters away from your sensors, because if they are within 2 meters they might interfere with your data corrections and you end up getting inaccurate data. Such devices are like computers, maybe cell phones and so on. Okay. As I have already indicated that the sensor, you have to put it in the LabQuest. Okay, like this. I can use the sellotape just to fix it nicely on the table so that it does not move. The arrow should be pointing up nicely like that. The other one, this side also nicely like that one. Okay. When I inserted the sensor, this is what is displayed on the screen of the request. Okay, I hold my hand grips the right way I have explained to you, not forgetting that the side that has the arrow is always your left side. And on the screen of the rep case there is a play buttons. That means I have to press that one. On the rep case there is a pen that you can use to touch the screens, because sometimes your finger may not respond well. Okay, let me just press the play button. Okay, at this point I should not move, and I should be within 80 centimeter, or my hand grip should be within 80 centimeter from the rep case. So because it is within that range that it can pick up the signal. Okay. Now I'm done recording the data. Let me just, as you can see now on the screen of the webcast, this is what has been measured. Okay, but what you can see is not yet analyzed. On the webcast screen there is option analyze, so which you can just tap on it. Then you go to statistics, then heart rate. Here you see it shows now the informations about the data that has been corrected on heart rate. Beeps per minute, that's 96, minimum, maximum, mean, and so on. All the information or the statistics to say are well analyzed there. Okay. Think you will find this useful when you are going to study, and thank you very much. Okay.
Good morning again. Now I'm going to show you how to transfer the data from the webcast to the computer. So what do we need? We need one thing. The first thing we need is to have a working Wi-Fi on our device. If we have Wi-Fi, we connect the Wi-Fi on our device. Then we need this code that connect the LabQuest to the computer, and we plug into this port. If you see, there is a USB code port there. That is where we are going to connect it. This is where we are going to connect it. So let's connect it like this. Then we connect these to the computer like this. Another thing that you need is a software that reads the data from the LabQuest, which is a Log Pro 3.8. I think this is the latest version. Is the other thing that you need to read your data. Then from there you go to your data. you go to the data file, then you go to file, then you say export, and you select export. Then it's supposed to be showing the data already here. Okay, that is one method. If you don't have a working Wi-Fi, still you can use this one and transfer to the computer. How do you do that? The only thing you need is a USB. Then you select the port for the USB. It's here. Then you plug in your USB. You go to file, then you select save. Then from save you select USB, which is between here. Then let's rename the file to, let's say, PK. Then you are done. Then after renaming it, you press save here, the save button down here. Then your file will be in your USB that you can use in your laptop at anywhere. The third option is to use the SD card. If you use the SD card, there is a port on your laptop that use a SD card. Then if you have a SD card, you open here. There is a port for SD card. You insert your SD card in, then you again go to file, select SD card, then you save your data that you can again transfer to your laptop. I hope with this it gives you the solution to work whether you have internet or not. Thank you very much.